Every year, there's a team that makes a leap from worst to first that nobody sees coming. And I'm taking my shot this year by saying that team is going to be my favorite team, the Arizona Cardinals. Let me explain. Last season, the Cardinals' record, it was trash. You know what I'm saying? Our record was less than impressive. We finished 4-13 last season, landing us in the 4th spot in the NFC West. But there's always a but. My mom used to say that everything before but doesn't count. But this time it does count because we went 4-13 and that was trash. On the bright side of that though, 3 out of 4 of those wins came against playoff teams. Despite their lackluster record and multitude of losses, the Cardinals were still one of the most competitive teams in the league. And you're like, okay, this is where like the bias comes out because he's a Cardinals fan. He's just bullshitting. He's talking out of his ass, right? Wrong. According to Jeremy Fowler, some anonymous execs have said Arizona is trending up despite its 4-13 clip. In 2023, one NFL offensive coach said, "That's the best 4-win team I've seen in a while. They make you earn everything. Head coach John Gannon seems legit and they can kill it in the draft." An AFC scout said, "If they add some vet pieces in free agency, they can surprise some people. Kyler Murray would be better with a full year coming off the ACL." The Cardinals are in a prime spot to shock the NFL and legitimately change the landscape of the entire NFC this upcoming season. Now, let me explain to you why. The reason number one I will give you is the biggest reason why the Cardinals can easily go from worst to first, and that reason is Kyler Murray. Now, despite what reports would want you to believe about Kyler Murray and him being immature and a gaming addicted bum, K1 is easily one of the hardest working men in the Cardinals organization. Now, sorry for this rant I'm about to go on, but it is absolutely needed. Like, I genuinely dislike the NFL media.
Y'all gotta defund Kyler Murray.
Brother, this guy stinks!
I used to watch K1 stream on COD, and he was cold. I liked that. Like, I like watching my favorite influencers and things of that nature stream. You understand? So it's like you kind of bullied him out of doing like regular people thing because we all play video games. Like, every single NFL player is gonna do something to wind down in their downtime. They're human. Now, okay, I know what you're gonna say, right? What about the study clause? And what I would say to you is like, what about it? These words are from K1 himself.
It's almost, to think that I can accomplish everything that I've accomplished in my career, and not be a student of the game, and not have that passion, and not take this serious is almost, it's disrespectful, and it's almost a joke. It's, to me, I'm flattered. I'm honestly flattered that y'all think that at my size I can go out there and not prepare for the game and not take it serious. It's disrespectful, I feel like, to my peers, to all the great athletes and great players that are in this league. This game's too hard. To play the position that I play in this league, it's too hard. And I don't do this often. I don't talk about myself, but today I feel like I have to. And so I'm gonna list the accolades. To go 43-0 in high school in Texas. Some are gonna say, "Oh, it's high school. That's cool," but nobody else has done it. Go to college, win the Heisman, get drafted number 1 overall to the NFL, get drafted number 9 overall to MLB. Again, no one's ever done it. Offensive Rookie of the Year, 2-time Pro Bowler. And I'm not 6'7", 230. I don't throw the ball 85 yards. I'm already behind the 8 ball, and I can't afford to take any shortcuts. No pun intended.
Remember, guys, we're talking about a former Rookie of the Year and a 2-time Pro Bowler. The fact that you guys think that he can accomplish these things without watching film is absolutely brain dead, and you're actually complimenting him. So I'm gonna say this one time and one time only. So make sure you listen closely. Kyler Murray is the most talented player in the NFL, not quarterback, but player. And I have evidence to back it up. We all have the evidence. It's all out there. He was drafted as a lottery pick in 2 different sports, baseball and football. There's no account of that happening in history ever before. Kyler Murray runs a low 4.3. He's one of the fastest players in the NFL. He can make every single throw that your favorite QB can make. If you show me the craziest throw that your QB can make, I guarantee you that Kyler Murray can make this throw. Oh, but he's short. This only makes it crazier because he's 5'10 and he makes every single throw your favorite QB can make. And like y'all say, right? He can barely see over the line, but he makes those crazy ass throws. He's overrated, but he consistently makes great throws. All right. I'm done with the rant, right? Kyler is going to thrive in his second year under Drew Petzing's new ground and pound play action run scheme. And I guarantee Kyler Murray is going to be pretty good. There's probably like 10 more reasons I could give you for why Kyler Murray is a game-changing player. But I'm going to leave it at that, and maybe I'll make a solo video on that in the future. But I don't want this video to be too long. So reason number 2, everybody should know that no matter who you have at quarterback, you cannot truly establish your offense until you establish the run game. Why? That's because running the ball keeps the defense honest. This is football 101, guys. And there are very few backs that keep the defense more honest than James Conner, the most underrated running back in the NFL, right? And it's like, okay, now he's just glazing all the Cardinals players. But I can back it up. Let me back it up, right? In 13 games, James Conner had 208 carries for 1,040 yards. He averaged 5 yards per carry, and he led the league in explosive runs with 11. That's higher than guys like Jahmyr Gibbs and Christian McCaffrey. And he averaged 80 yards per game while he was healthy. He had 80 fewer carries than Derrick Henry, but only 100 fewer yards. He had more yards than Bijan, Saquon, Jahmyr Gibbs, Breece Hall, while playing fewer games than all of them. Every time he got the rock, it felt like it was an automatic first down. Oh, okay, but James Conner is slow, right? That may be true. But if that's truly the case, then why does he have the most explosive runs in the league? It doesn't make sense, like things are not adding up. With 7 TDs to finish the year, not to mention he just had 15 TDs 2 years prior in 2021 with a reverse regimen. Like, it's time that the casual NFL fan base put some respect on James Conner's name. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's overlooked by most of you guys. You know what I'm saying? Because he plays for the Cardinals. But these stats alone put him as a top 5 running back in the NFL. And guess what? It doesn't stop there. The Cardinals just arguably drafted the best running back prospect in Trey Benson to help alleviate some of the carries from James Conner so he can stay healthy and fresh throughout the season. And Trey Benson is a monster. What he brings to the backfield is absolutely insane. He runs a 4.39 40-yard dash, and his teammates call him Forrest Gump because once he gets to the second level, he doesn't let anybody catch him. He kind of reminds me of a faster version of James Conner, which is kind of scary to think about. What he's going to bring to this team is going to be something that the NFL is not expecting. If you watch Trey Benson's film, his patience behind the line, sitting behind James Conner is going to only help him develop as a player. And once he gets rolling in the system, I don't think anybody is going to be able to stop him. Last but not least, we have Michael Carter. Michael Carter is our projected running back 3. He just had 1K all-purpose yards just a few years ago with the Jets in 2021. And he's young. Michael Carter is not some old-ass running back. Michael Carter is like 24, I believe. This group of running backs is like going to be the best running back group in the NFL. If you can't see it now, you're going to see it later. Michael Carter alone, last season we didn't even have him for majority of the year, but when you see clips like this, Like, bro, he's taking defenders' ankles with ease. Like, I also felt like when Michael Carter got the rock, it was an automatic first down. Like, our run game was insane last year. You wouldn't know that, though, because nobody watches the Cardinals. We didn't have the best running back prospect on our team last year. We didn't have James Conner for the majority. Well, we had him for majority of the year, but we didn't have him for the entire year. And despite that, we still had the fourth best rushing offense in the NFL with the fourth most rushing yards and the most explosive runs in the NFL. And that was largely due to our underrated offensive line that now includes Jonah Williams, the Bengals tackle, Paris Johnson, the 6th pick in last year's draft, Will Hernandez, who's been really solid for us. I know Giants fans are probably like, Will Hernandez sucks. Will Hernandez maybe suck with you guys, but for us, Will Hernandez is a fucking baller. Yelda Froholt, and we have a position battle going on at left guard between a couple young guys in Isaiah Adams, Jonathan Gaines, and Marquise Hayes. But the O-line is extremely underrated, and they're the reason why this run game got going, so I want to make sure that I give them credit. They're the ones that are going to be defending Kyler Murray, and I have all faith in these guys. This is probably the best looking O-line that I've seen since I've been a Cardinals fan, and that says a lot. You know, what are you doing, Steve Conn? But the third reason is Marvin Harrison Jr. Okay, alright, not just Marv, but the entire receiving corps from top to bottom is now honestly insane. I don't think most fans realize how good it actually is. And starting with Trey McBride, who was a top 5 tight end in the NFL last year, arguably top 3, would have been top 1 if he was not benched behind Zach Ertz for 6 weeks. Listen to he was not starting for 6 weeks. He had 80 receptions for 825 yards with Josh Dobbs as the starting QB for majority of the year. Trey McBride might be the best tight end in the NFL. We just don't know it yet because he hasn't had a full season starting in the NFL yet. But with half a season starting, that boy looked pretty good, I ain't gonna lie to you. And then, of course, we had the generational rookie wide receiver prospect in Marvin Harrison Jr. What can I say about Marv that hasn't been already said? Just that the Cardinals added the best player in the draft, whose fluidity at 6'4", 204 pounds is second to none. And he has body control with like a ballerina and etc. Like I could go on speaking. There's tens and hundreds of videos out there about Marvin Harrison. If you want to go and like really do a deep dive on Marvin Harrison, you can go and find out whatever the hell you want about Marvin Harrison. But if Marvin Harrison stays healthy next year, he is going to be at bare minimum a top 10 receiver in the NFL at bare minimum. Now, starting on the opposite side of Marvin Harrison is one of my favorite Cardinals players, Michael Wilson. Now, before Michael Wilson got injured last season, he was on pace for 1,000 yards, receiving yards. And once again, let me remind you who his quarterback was. This guy, Joshua Dobbs. I love Joshua Dobbs, but Joshua Dobbs is not a starting QB in the league. The thing about Michael Wilson that enamors me so much about him is that his game reminds me so much of Devontae Adams. Now you're like, oh, Devontae Adams, like, damn, you dig, damn, how about my hypothesis? Damn, you glazing. But let me explain to you. The way that Michael Wilson gets open off the line, his releases, and his route running at his size is absolutely borderline elite. And even though he's very unproven, his potential is through the roof. And if he can stay healthy, Michael Wilson is definitely a diamond in the rough. He can make any catch on the field. He can do everything at a high level. The only thing that I would say Michael Wilson really struggles with is his speed. He's not the fastest guy. I just want to see how Michael Wilson progresses from last year to this year. Now it's time to talk about the man, the myth, the legend, and the Cardinals' projected slot receiver, Greg Dortch. Greg Dortch has to be one of the most electric football players I ever think I've laid my eyes upon. It's like every single time Greg gets an opportunity, he seems to capitalize on it, and he consistently makes the craziest catches and plays look like light work. That's why we call him Greg the Torch Dortch. Light the Dortch. Light the torch. You know what I'm saying? Like he just like sets a light on the stadium. Like he every time he has the ball in his hand, my day just gets brighter. And like, damn, Greg Dortch just caught the ball. I know something amazing is about to happen. He's the only 5 or 7 receiver I've ever seen where a 50-50 ball for him is like a 70-30 ball. You can throw a back shoulder fade to Greg Dortch, and if he has the ability to catch that ball, if it's within his catch radius, he's going to catch that pass 9 out of 10 times. He's 5'7". He's 5'7". If you throw him the ball in the flat, he's juking defenders out of their shoes. And not only that, at 5'7", 170, if you don't wrap Greg Dortch up, Greg is running right through them weak ass arm tackles. He's like a 205-pound running back wide receiver in a 5'7", 170-pound receiving body. I swear, if Greg was 6 foot, he would be the best wide receiver in the NFL. I'm so excited to see what Greg Dortch will be able to do with a more expanded role in 2024. And that's not it. This is what I'm talking about with the Cardinals. Like we are easily the most underrated team in the NFL right now. That's not it, because we just added a savvy vet from the Jaguars, Zay Jones. Just in case any of our starters go down, we won't have to take any hitches or faults in our step, because behind our young guys, we have a guy who just accumulated 900 receiving yards a year ago. Like, he just did that. Last year he was injured, but the year before that he accumulated 900 receiving yards. Like, this offense is going to be insane. If the receiving core can take the step that I believe that it looks like it's going to take, our pass game can go from one of the worst in the league to one of the best. The Cardinals offense is honestly looking like it's gearing up to be absolutely insane. Now, this is my first video on this, and obviously I haven't talked about the defense at all, but I was thinking about making this a 2-parter. So if you guys want to see the second part of this video, make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe, make sure you add any questions you want me to talk about the defense. Any guys you want me to talk about the defense, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, just let me know. What are you doing at this point? Like, if you made it this far and you haven't subscribed, haven't left a comment, you know what I'm saying, you haven't liked the video, you know what I'm saying, you just, your ego is overinflated, bro. Like, come on, drop a like, leave a comment. And, you know, like, why are you egoing me like that? No, I'm fucking with you, man. Deuces.